Hey guys, well today I want to try and do a little practice on a couple of skills. One of them is making natural cordage. Now Jamie Burley, One Foot in the Wild, just made a video on how to make cordage from bark. It was a real good video. He learned a couple things from that for sure. There's a way that he splices it together, you know, the pieces of bark together was a real good technique. I used to just kind of fit it in wherever, but I'll try to show it to you here real quick, but he gave me a real good idea on that. This is what I've got going so far. I usually start off pretty good, and then it kind of gets ugly. It's just, you know, nature of the beast. This is basswood, and normally for basswood you have to, or the best thing to do is to soak it, and then the inner fibers of the, you have to soak it for like 2 weeks and change the water and stuff like that, and this outer bark will come off, will separate from the inner strands, and this bark is super strong. It makes real good cordage. You know, obviously nothing compared to man-made cordage, but for natural cordage it works pretty good. So I've got some issues on mine here, but I'm gonna keep working on it. What I want to try to do is I want to try to make a bow drill with natural cordage. I've done it once with, like I said, the basswood bark that I had processed, that I had soaked it. This is just raw off the saplings. I peeled it yesterday. It's been just kind of sitting here in a pile. I would have liked to have started on it right away, but I ran out of time. So anyway, it's just a, you know, reverse wrap 2-ply cordage. Now with the bow drill, with natural cordage, you will go through cordage quite fast. If you let it slip, or if you let it ride against each other, rub against itself rather, it will break quite easily. So, to my way of thinking, I either want 10 feet of cordage about this thick, or I want 5 feet of this doubled up on itself. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that. And even that, I might not have enough cordage. It's just, the bow drill's really hard on cordage. So now that I've got, this is all stuff Jamie showed. I'm just repeating what Jamie showed me. Like I said, I totally just learned this from watching Jamie's video just the other day. But I'll kind of give you one hint that just really, it would impress me. Anyway, so you got one piece longer than the other piece. So now I need to think about splicing to make this piece longer. So I've got just, you know, another piece of bark here. And what he showed was that you fold that piece in there, kind of tuck it into where the two meet. Okay, the short end goes where the long end is, and then the long end, you know, is your continuation of this side. Now you try and wrap that in. Just keep going with your reverse 2-ply. And this is some stiff stuff. I don't know, maybe I should have soaked it, but I kind of wanted to just get going on it. So you're twisting it away from you, twist it towards you. You twist the individual ones away from you, and then the actual twist towards you. So anyway, I just thought that was a neat splice. Normally in the past I had just kind of tucked to the end up in there and just continued on with it, but the way that Jamie showed, that's a neat splice. So anyway, I'm just going to keep going with this, and I got some projects I got to do today, so I'm not going to be able to devote the whole day to just making cordage, but I'll mess with it a little bit off and on, and I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm getting pretty close to wanting to give this a try. Or I take that back, I'm getting pretty close to wanting to reverse wrap it on itself. You can see, I think I showed you this before, where I did I think a pretty good job there. And then other places where, you know, it's kind of ugly. It just kind of gets away from you once in a while. like right there. That's a bad spot. That's why I want to reverse wrap it on itself, because with that, I mean, this cordage would hold up real good with anything basically except for a bow drill. The bow drill, it's so hard on this natural cordage because it's rubbing and it's abrasive on it. So that's why I want to reverse wrap it on itself. Maybe if I would have made it thicker, let's see that. Look at how it, I'm going to have to cut off some of these little ends. I can tell that maybe soaking it would have made it a little more pliable, a little easier to work with, but whatever. I should have maybe, like I said, I didn't have time yesterday, but if I would have taken time, or maybe even left the bark on the stick until I was ready, maybe that would have helped. Anyway, I want just, what do I got here? Close to 6 feet, so if I double it up, that's only going to be 3, so I kind of want a little more than that. So I'm just going to keep plugging away at it, and then I'm going to reverse wrap it on itself. Okay, well, I was going to reverse wrap it on itself, but just due to the varying thicknesses, like it's super thick right here, and at the beginning it's pretty thin, it's not going to work out that well. I'm just going to trim up the ends. I'm going to go and just kind of see if there's any little tag ends sticking out. I'm going to cut that off, because when it rubs against itself, it'll catch and rub against itself, and it's not a good deal. Like, that's a real ugly end right there. Yeah, it got away from me a little bit here, a couple places. Alright, well, I'm just going to continue to trim this up a little bit, and then I'll go make my set. Okay, when you're using this natural cordage, something as simple as even just wrapping it around your spindle becomes kind of quite the effort. Now, I've done this once before, and the way I was able to do it was wrap the spindle up. In other words, don't tie the back end of the bow, just leave it loose. The problem is it slips right away, and then you're always trying to tighten it. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to wrap it around here, pull it tight, and wrap the excess around my hand and just hold it. And if this starts slipping on me, I'll probably wrap it twice. This is a proven set, proven spindle. I recarbed it all and everything, but okay. All right. I need to put some sand or something in there. Not getting any friction. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I'm really trying to angle my bow. See, boy, that's not very tight. Trying to angle my bow so that when I saw back and forth, it's not riding on itself. um, so the cordage is not rubbing up against itself. And I did try to tie the bow and immediately broke my string, so that's why I'm kind of just doing it like this, which is quite awkward. God damn it. Okay, it's slipping, and I'm not getting what I want there. That's okay. It didn't exactly burn in, but it's enough to where I can do the notch now. So I might need to add some more sand to it, because you can see the spindle. See how the sand ate away the tip there? I need to get the friction on the outside. So anyway, it burned it in enough for me to do the notch, so that's what I'm going to do now. If I continue, so far it's been working out decent, but if I get friction, or sorry, if the rope continues to slide, I will maybe double wrap it, because I've had a little bit of success with that. So let's see if we can even get this to burn in. Nope, once it starts slipping, you totally have to stop. That's okay. This isn't going to be a, ow, ooh. I put the end of that spindle up to my nose and burnt the hell out of it. This isn't going to be a fast bow drill. This isn't something that you can just muscle your way through and plow through it. I've got some friction, I got some good color dust, and let's experiment with wrapping it twice. I don't think I even have enough to... All right. My dust is not a very good color. It's a good color, but it's chunks. I might be pushing too hard on it. The notch needs adjustment. Needs to be in there just a tiny bit more. This color dust will work though. Or the chunks like that. Alright, let's get rid of that little nipple point on there. This cordage has held up surprisingly well. I'm actually quite impressed. It's starting to fray a little bit. That's alright, I made enough to begin with that I should be okay. This is starting to shoulder out a little bit. When I'm all done with this fire, I'll show you a couple of one trick I guess that I did. Alright. Okay. Try the nose trick again. And let's see if a little plantain might help it. The only thing I don't like about putting plant material in your bearing block like this is invariably it falls out right into your pile of dust. So that can be a bummer. Alright, let's try this again. Just doing this kind of slow. I know you guys can't see this, but I'm just trying to double wrap it. I had success with the double wrap, so I thought I'd give it another try. Some success, I guess. I don't know how guys tie it to keep it, you know, tie your string, because natural cordage I can't seem to get it tight enough. And it's still not tight enough. It's slipping. You gotta stop right away when it starts to slip. Like I said already. I hate to cut this cord. So I'm not going to. This cordage, I don't really want to cut it. Boy, it really rode up there. Alright, well, that's alright. I mean, it sucks, obviously, but you can't start throwing stuff this early in the game. Real important not to touch the end of that spindle. I'm starting to get pretty sweaty and stuff. Well, I only wrapped it once. Oh, it's really slipping now. Close, really close. I'm going to take a second here. That was something else I was going to tell you. I purposely made some grooves in my spindles, but it's starting to wear out now. So I'm just going to lightly rough it back up again. I don't want to do that. My dust looks a lot better. Not the big chunkies in it like there was. I had no idea this cordage was going to last this long, otherwise I wouldn't have made it so long, because I'm having a little bit of trouble holding on to it the way that it is, as you can probably tell. Maybe that's why it's slipping, the end is coming off here. Alright, I'm going to do some readjusting. I'll get back with you. I don't want to give up. It's going good. Now it slipped. I might have got lucky. Come on, boy. Real chunky. Look at that. Okay, finally got a cherry in there. See what I mean about the plantain getting in your way? Maybe. You can see that, I'm not sure. I'm going to give this one a second here. She's smoking pretty good now though. Alright. Doggone green plantain. Oh my God. That'd be the worst transfer I've ever done. Just gonna let that sit there. Wow, that was stupid. I'm shaking just because of the exertion. Okay, that's a tough way to make a fire right there, for me. You can see I'm sweating. It's, you know, whatever. And I got really lucky because that was a real bonehead move with that coal transfer. If this was for real, I can see now that I definitely wouldn't use a stupid ass shaky leaf. I'd use, you know, a nice stable piece of bark or something like that. And with the dust being as poor as it was, I should have let it coal up for a little bit longer. Okay, a couple, like I was saying before, one thing that I think helped me was making it almost square. I mean, not really, but almost square. And then my buddy Jamie B told me, Jamie Burley, in addition to chamfering the backside, chamfering the top will help channel the dust into the notch. And anyway, that's the first time I've ever done that, but I don't know, I got a coal. And I'm really stoked with this bark cordage. Holy crap, I mean, look how much extra I got here. I was stoked. Every other time I've ever done natural cordage, I've broken it at least once, if not multiple times. So this basswood cordage, even though I didn't process it like they tell you to, you know, soaking it and all that other stuff and just getting the inner fibers, it still worked. I mean, there you go. Cool. Take care, guys.